Wilson Smith III had big shoes to fill when he designed the Air Jordan 16, the first signature Jordan since the two not designed by Tinker Hatfield. He scored a hit, bringing in elements from past Air Jordans and adding a shroud that gave the shoe two personalities. In 2008, the black and red pair returned to celebrate the 23rd year of Jordan sneakers. Let's take a look.
Hey all, what is up? Reese here, and I've got a brand new sneaker pickup to show you. What we're looking at today is the Air Jordan 16 Retro in black and varsity red. These released on June 21st, 2008, retailing for $310 as part of a pack along with the Air Jordan 7 Hair. The Air Jordan 16 first released in 2001 and was a significant shoe for the Air Jordan lineup because it was the first since the Air Jordan 3 to be designed by someone other than Tinker Hatfield. In this case, the task fell to Wilson Smith III, who was Nike's senior footwear designer at the time. He didn't want to totally rock the boat, so he was intentional about bringing in a couple different elements from popular past Air Jordan models. For example, you had patent leather on the toe box, which came from the 11, the clear outsole, which was seen on the 11, as well as the 5 and the 6, and visible air at the heel, which was seen on the 5 and the 6, as well as the 3 and the 4. There were only a few colorways of the Air Jordan 16 release. You had two colors of just the regular 16. You had this pair and then a white and navy pair, which is actually seeing a retro release again on December 22nd, 2016. Then you also had two pairs of the Air Jordan 16 Plus. They were very similar to the 16. They just had a few material changes, which is why they had that plus added. Jordan used the plus to indicate just either a signature or retro that was overall the same but had a few tweaks. Like for example, we saw the Air Jordan 4 Retro Plus in the Oreo and Columbia colorway in the late 90s, and the difference there was instead of having that mesh netting on the side, they actually had perforated leather. In the case of the 16, the plus pairs had different materials on the toe box. The ginger pair had nubuck and the cherrywood pair just had normal tumbled leather. And then they also reworked the mesh underneath the shroud here just for a little more breathability. On top of that, there were two low top pairs that were released. Since then though, we have not seen any retro releases other than this pair from the 2008 Countdown Pack, although there have been plenty of NBA athletes who have received different PEs throughout the years, including Michael Jordan. He wore the ginger colorway on court, some with the Wizards when he came back and joined them for the 2001-2002 season, and I also found a couple pictures of him wearing a different PE colorway of the 16. Now as far as the 2008 release goes, 2008 was a special year for Jordan Brand because it was the year that they released the 23rd signature shoe, so it was the 23rd year of the brand, and of course that was special because that was Michael Jordan's number. So to celebrate, along with the release of the 23, throughout the year they released these countdown packs, and what they would do is bundle two previous Air Jordan signature sneakers, and so they ended up releasing every previous Jordan sneaker, and they started basically from the beginning and the end. So you had the 1 and the 22 packaged together, the 2 and the 21, and you kind of kept getting closer and closer until you had the 11 and 12 together. Like I said earlier, the 16 was bundled with the Air Jordan 7 in the hair colorway. Now each of these packs retailed for $310, so you could work that out to $155 a pair. Especially some of the middle ones were very popular, although some of the ones that had the earlier shoes and then the later shoes were a little less popular and sat for a little while because people were less reluctant to pay for a shoe like the 18 or the 19 or the 22 when all they really wanted was the first shoe. Just because those later models weren't quite as popular, and they had also released just a couple years before, so people still probably had their pairs and didn't need to go out and get another one. Regardless, the whole concept I think was really neat, and like I said, the middle one sold especially well. This would have been a great pack to pick up at the time had I been into Jordans. I love the 16, and the Air Jordan 7 in the hair colorway is also a great shoe. Obviously though, I did not pick up this pack. I just picked up this pair used from a site called Round 2 Store. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like, it's not really like a Goodwill, but it's kind of like an upscale Goodwill where they have a lot of vintage clothing and sneakers all the way up to some new sneaker releases that have never been worn. And so I just happened to find a good price on a pair of these. In overall pretty good shape. There's definitely some yellowing of the outsole, little bit of creasing on the patent leather, but really not too bad. And then some paint chipping along where you've got the varsity red on the midsole. But overall, I was really happy to find them for, I think it was like 120. And because I love the Jordan 16, I kind of like have monitored eBay and stuff like that, and kind of like, oh, is that an interesting pair? But I just hadn't found a pair in my size in the right condition. I was really happy to see these. I think this is a great looking silhouette. I'm excited. Hopefully we'll start seeing a couple more colorways re-released, since we're seeing the white and navy pair coming in late 2016. I would really love this pair to return, and also the cherry woods. I think that's a great colorway, and I'm hoping we'll see a retro of those. But with all that said, let's dive now into a close-up view. We'll go through the colors, materials, and everything going on with this sneaker. Here we go with a close-up look at the Air Jordan 16 Retro in black and varsity red. The shoe is kind of designed to have two sides. You had the unshrouded shoe, which was intended really for the on-court performance shoe, and then once you put the shroud on, it really transformed the look of the sneaker. The idea was that it could be something kind of like the Air Jordan 11, where you could wear it casually, but you could also kind of dress it up because it had a lot of premium materials, from the tumbled leather to the patent leather on the toe box. Taking a look at the shroud itself, you can see that tumbled leather all the way throughout with vertical stitching that is reminiscent of the Air Jordan 12. You've got this crisscross pattern on kind of a strip down the front of the shoe that again just helps give it kind of that higher end look. The back of the shroud features just a mesh material, and then you've got a leather strip right there with XVI or 16 in Roman numerals. On the side of the strap here, you've got the Jumpman logo down at the bottom in red on top of this white little circular piece. You've got Jordan spelled out in Braille down the side. Then we've got the just little rubber piece that runs along the bottom that holds it onto the shoe. If we take it off, then we can see there's 3 buttons and some Velcro, and then the shroud removes, just how you would again normally play basketball on them. Some people do play with the shroud. There's a video, or there's a picture, excuse me, of I believe Reggie Miller playing in an NBA game with the shroud on, but for the most part, you would play without that. So this is what it would look like on court. You've got that patent leather at the toe box, and you can see the tip of the toe box is really wide, a lot wider than most shoes. And the idea was that they wanted to give a little more space there so your toes aren't cramped or anything like that. It definitely gives the shoe a little bit of a bulkier look, especially when it's on foot and you're looking down, just because it's not the usual shape. You've got this little translucent piece right there that says XVI, black mesh tongue, got tumbled leather and patent leather up at the top of the tongue, black laces with silver tips. You've got a little more tumbled leather on the upper. You've got kind of this mudguard up here, and then wrapping around the heel as well, you have a little bit more. The main part of the upper then is this mesh material. So this is all hidden by the shroud normally, but you've got this mesh separated by nubuck paneling with the silver Jumpman right there. And one of the big differences of the Air Jordan 16 Plus versus the regular 16, so again that's the cherry wood and ginger colorways, is they didn't have this separation with the nubuck, so it was just all mesh, gave a little more breathability for when you're on the court. Back here you've got this pull tab with a little indentation out of it right there, which is where the shroud sits. You've got the Jumpman up top, and then for the insole, I don't know if we'll be able to see this at all. Looks like no, but down the bottom you've actually got a red tag down in there that's part of the countdown pack. Every shoe in all of the packs had that. Other than that, it's an all black interior. And looking at the midsole now, you've got the black top line, and then the main part is this varsity red. You've got Jordan spelled out right there and 16 dashes. And then back here you can see there's these little windows where you can see through to the visible air unit. This features what they called blow molded air in the back, and then a 4-foot zoom unit. Flipping to the outsole now, again, you've got that translucent pattern. You can see the shank down below there. And then the main traction is these black sections, which feature your typical herringbone. There's the channel right there where the shroud sits. Got your jump band right there. So that'll about wrap it up for the Jordan 16. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of this shoe. I'm excited that we're getting the white and midnight navy pair just in less than 2 months. And I'm really excited, hopefully, that they'll start bringing back more 16s. Definitely let me know in the comments which colorway is the one you want to see most, which one you're hoping they bring back. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And as always, thank you so much for watching this. Have a great day.